The Call of the Wild is probably the fourth adaptation of this book, and coincidentally, the launch of 20th Century Studios. Ironically, back in 1935, this film, released under the same studio, was also the last film released under 20th Century Pictures before it merged with Fox Film Corporation to make 20th Century Fox. So how weird that circle just goes round. It was the last movie to make 20th Century Fox. It's the first movie under 20th Century Studios, 85 years later. How small the world is. The film follows a dog named Buck, who is stolen from his home in California and sent to the Yukon, where he befriends an outdoorsman named Jack Thornton? It's like, I think how you say his name? They find it together, they changing each other's lives for the better. But of course, things are not always smooth along the way. This movie surprised me, because seeing this movie, I'm like, oh man, this is such Disney. This movie was Disneyfied. I can tell while I was watching the trailers. Now, ironically, when the original trailer came out, it still had the Fox logo on it, unfortunately. But of course, with the merger now set in place, the film was then delayed to February, because it was supposed to come out, I think, last year under the Fox regime. But the merger took place and Disney held it off. And you can tell this is Disney's movie. You can tell from the PG rating, because I always thought this movie was going to be PG-13. Reading that book, I'm like, this has got to be PG-13. And then when I seen the trailer and I seen the rating, I'm like, oh, what the hell? So it being actually a good movie surprised me. I don't like the fact, but I do, and don't love the fact that all the animals are CGI, including Buck. I mean, every animal is CGI in this movie. And I get it. Disney and their company didn't want to probably harm real animals, because there are situations that a real animal could just not do. And watching the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's a lot of shit in here that would not involve real animals for a reason. And I'm kind of glad they didn't go that route. So the CGI does make sense. But the fact that this movie has a production budget of $109 million, and you can still blatantly tell they're CG characters, I don't know if that was because of Harrison Ford's budget. Did Harrison Ford take away the budget from the animals? I don't know. I do not know. I do know is this might be the first good movie under 20th Century Studios. Wow. It's funny. January ended with Underwater and it ended 20th Century Fox. February kicked off with this movie and kicked off 20th Century Studios, and they're both surprisingly good movies. Shocking, I know. But yes, Harrison Ford is great in this movie. This fits him to a T, especially the Jack Thornton character. I cannot say that name his last name to save my life. I know, I'm sorry. He was made for this, okay? Whoever the actor was that played Buck did it great, because you can tell there was certain scenes in here where you can tell it was just a guy mo-capping the dog, because there were certain things he had to do. But the fact that he literally did it as playing a dog like that, that gives me some Andy Serkis vibes right there. That's top quality, and I appreciate top quality in my movies. I really do, especially that level of dedication. That was a great job. That was a great job. But again, the effects didn't go to the animals, but the surrounding landscapes and stuff, that was gorgeous. This movie is gorgeously shot. Okay, it's kind of sad in the beginning, like all movies are when they first start. But on that journey, I'm just like, this is not half bad. I'm enjoying myself. Buck has character. Oh my God, they gave the dog character. I love it. I love it. It was a nice little watch. It was just a harmless, nice little watch. It's not the way I thought you would kick off 20th Century Studios, but it adds to the first movie that's good for this movie studio. So, hoping we got 85 years of good stuff coming from this company. West Side Story and Death for the Now are the two biggest ones coming up right now. So, we'll see how those go. West Side Story is Steven Spielberg's name all over it, so I'm all over that like white on rice and soy sauce, baby. You cannot go wrong with Steven Spielberg. I'm giving The Call of the Wild a B- because I enjoyed it. I might buy the 4K at some point if I want to own a dog movie. I haven't owned a dog movie since Homeward Bound 2, so I don't think I ever will. But I have it digitally, so I'm fine with that. Let me know what you guys think about The Call of the Wild down below. And which is your favorite adaptation? There's like 4 of these movies, I believe. Let me know down below, and I will catch you guys later.